this is a pop-up live, don't you know? Unscheduled, shall we say. And there is a reason for it today. First of all, hello. It is Thursday. It is 2/17, December the 4th. All right, 2025. It is approximately 78 degrees in Florida and extraordinarily sunny. Also hot, quite honestly. For me, it's hot. But there is a reason. There's a reason for me. You know, if you have little children in your life, teach them to be respectful of elders, older people, just people in general. They need to respect everybody. And I don't mean that in a bossy way at all. And so I'm thinking, there are so many people who just let their children run willy-nilly and they never say excuse me or please or thank you or anything. And I mean, they have a right to do that, of course. What? Nicole, hey there. Oh, good God. That's cold. -20. Oh, that's cold, Nicole. Nicole's up there in Canada. She's freezing her parts off. I'm just saying. I got to put my glasses back on. Oh, Francisco, hello, honey. How you doing? But I went uptown today. I swore I wasn't going uptown no more, but I got invited out for breakfast. And so, with a dear friend. And, so then after that, I thought, okay, well, let me run by and get some more stuff to make, for me and the grandbaby, to make some cookies and treats and so forth. And there were these little children. I was at the Dollar Tree. Oh, New Hampshire 19. Oh, 4. Oh, that's cold, y'all. I'm not going to complain, I guess, about my heat. But, yeah, that's a little nippy for me. I mean, I like cold, all right, because I got heaters and, such. But that's a little chilly. I hope y'all all have a way to stay warm. But I was appalled at the way these little children were acting. My mama would have beat my behind. I told her one time I was being sassy at the shoe store because I wanted these shoes with these little buckles on them. They were adorable. And I don't know how old I was. Probably about 6 or 7 because I remember it quite well. And she jerked me by the arm and took me outside, and I started to have me a fit. Now, we didn't have fits in my household. I started to have me a fit. And I looked dead at her, and I said, I'm going to lay down here in the parking lot and have a fit. And she said, you do, and I'll stomp your guts out. Now, my mama would have. She's a much mellower, kind soul now than she used to be. Well, big dreams. I'm in the parking lot of, she just asked me what I'm doing. It's not Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I come on pop up sometimes just to say things and see people. But I'm just appalled. Just absolutely appalled at the way people let their children just run willy-nilly and act like hooligans. I know there's a lot of children. See, Nicole, you're so sweet. That have issues and so on and so forth, but not every child in the store could possibly have some kind of problem. I wouldn't think. Or maybe they just jacked up on too much candy. I don't know. But I'm starting to think that, Courtney, you just might be right. People just, I don't quite understand it. Now, there was this one gentleman, he was an older gentleman, real tall. He was real tall. We kept like bumping into each other in the store aisles, And he was just as polite and kind and nice. I think he had money too because of the way he was dressed. But he was just as sweet as he could be. But now there was this one little boy, and he was so excited because he was buying that string that you squirted out of a can you know, he told me he was going to be Spider-Man. Now, he was real impressed when I told him I had met Spider-Man. But, you know the character. Uh, I just, I hope that when I go out in public, or my, hey Joy, how you doing? Uh, well, big dreams. I'm thinking you might be right. There are more people out there who are just not. I don't know. Has our world gotten so callous and so unkind? It's I don't know. I got to move this seat back. It's driving me crazy. But you know, I got real short legs. Well, y'all probably don't know. You've probably never seen my legs, but they're short. My children say I'm a hobbit. But I just I wish the world were kinder, and people were more polite to each other, and just, it doesn't take anything, honest to Pete, to just smile at somebody or say thank you or please or hold the door open for somebody. There was this little man at the restaurant this morning, and he was a little old man. He was precious. He was just precious. And he's just kind of jiggying himself up to the door. He said, "Let me hold the door for you, young lady." Young lady. I told you I live in a very old community. And so I of course, acted appropriately and told him thank you very much and everything. And I also told him how I love a chivalry in a man. It's a fine attribute. And it is. You know, for people to be kind and just, I don't know. It struck me, it just struck me. I guess probably because of the holiday in itself, and the fact that, you know, in this season of Christmas, even if you're not a Christian, and if you don't have, you know, just the simple, you know, have you got Kwanzaa or you got Hanukkah or whatever you've got, but just the season alone of kindness that should be flowing from people. And it should flow from people all the time, but it doesn't. But particularly right now, people should be expressing themselves in a kind and, if they can, generous manner. And if you can't be generous of financially, because we can't all be generous financially, but we can be generous with our kindness. Kindness is free. That's all. You know, it's free. Now, my grandbaby picked out my jewelry this morning. She said she thought that I needed to wear the red to offset. Oh, I got it on backwards. Good Lord, have mercy. But it you know, little costume jewelry. But it was so cute. She was up this morning pretty early. Her and Grandpa went to bed real early last night, and of course we have to find the elf in the house, and you know she had to have breakfast and all this and that. And she has got a new baby sister, who was born Tuesday. Her mama had a baby, and so Nick Lee, hello, California, hello. And so her world's gonna change tremendously, with her mama having that baby. And she wanted to know if I was gonna, what I was gonna get the baby for Christmas. Nice to see you too, Nick Lee. And I said, well, what do you think that the baby would want for Christmas? Stink bug. Hey, you were driving down the road today. I saw you. Well, I didn't see you. I saw you on there, you know. But, you know, I don't know what to get that baby. I did get a bunch of pictures printed off that her mama had sent to show us the baby. So I printed those off. And I maybe make an ornament or something. I don't know. I've got to figure something out. because you don't want it to just go unnoticed, and it is her sister. So, yeah, I try to figure something out. I don't know. I've never been one of those people who like to go to bridal showers or baby showers or how old am I? I'm 62. How old are you? Um but so I've never even when I had my babies, I wasn't into that kind of stuff. Um the baby was born Tuesday, so it's 2 days old. Um yeah, 2 days old. And I've yet to meet the baby. Uh but it's a little girl, and so I'm perplexed. I did get it some little my first Christmas clothes, with little, somethings. But since she specifically asked me about getting some, it's like I do like the idea of a little teddy bear or with ornament. I love an ornament. In case y'all hadn't ever noticed, I do love an ornament. I got an ornament for Christmas today. It's the cutest thing. It's a Christmas tree, and it's got the American flag on it. It's adorable. Um, I was gifted that this morning. But so not that I don't mind sending gifts. I just don't like go to them kind of parties. You know, baby showers and bridal showers, and I don't like doing that. I'll go, but I don't like it. Do y'all like it? I don't like to go to a Tupperware party. Well, not that they have those anymore. Or, I used to go to all that stuff. I know that Carrie and Courtney and I talked about it, because they have they're entrepreneurs, don't you know? But the party thing, just when people are set Longaberger baskets, oh yes, spent a bunch of those. I do love a basket though, but those are a little bit pricey. Hey Alan, how you doing? So I don't like going to them kind of parties. But well, they had a baby shower for the baby, but I did not. Hey Ohio, how you doing? But I was not invited to that, because I'm not that baby's granny. Reba still got her little outfit on. Ohio Valley has Reba, his little dog, and Reba had on clothes. Can y'all see me putting clothes on Max? Oh God, he'd kill me. He'd just kill me. Oh, yesterday when okay, it would be Emma's grandpa on Mama's side. Papa is what they call him. Well, Papa was bringing her back to me because they had gone up to the hospital to see the baby. And well, I appreciate that, stink bug. That's sweet of you. And anyway, Max would not let him in the door. Max does not like people taking his baby away. Max sleeps on top of poor little old Emma. But Emma loves it. She just, oh no, I want him to stay here. That, California, that's a nice thing. A little basket full of little baby supplies. That's a nice gift. I also thought about just giving them some money because they're going to need it. They're going to have 4 children in that house. They're going to need some money. Oh, she didn't wear clothes today. She walked around naked as a jaybird. Little old Reba, the dog. Ohio Valley said Reba did not wear clothes today. I would think that it'd be a pain in the butt getting them in and out of them clothes. Hello, Kim. How you doing? I know Courtney and Carrie have clothes for their little dog. I think her name's Isabella, maybe? I don't remember. But the dog don't like to wear the little clothes. Now, do you have little booties for oh, well, Ohio, I know that them dogs love to get critters, or at least just, um, you know, pester the critters. Not necessarily bite them or anything, but just pester them. We have these gopher tortoises, and they're big. I mean, they're good size. We have little ones too, but the good size ones are the ones that live in our back in the woods. And oh Lord, he has a hissy fit when he sees one of them. And they're big, you know. I'm not sure what he would do if he ever saw the little ones, because obviously they little. You think she'd wear them little booties? She'd be walking like this, like a cat with tape on their feet. I've seen them that look like little Crocs for dogs. That cracked me up. I know I wouldn't be able to let. Oh, he would not. No, he would not tolerate. Max would not tolerate that. He don't like to have his nails clipped either. And Dwayne bought one of those things where you it's like a Dremel, and it's not real loud. I don't think it's as loud as the Dremel, but Lord have mercy. I thought, and Dwayne was like, well, hold him down. Really? You want me to hold the dog down? Okay, Nicole, if you had started off with a puppy, it might work. But he wants me to hold down that dog. I'm like, just go pay to have it done. Oh, that sounds fun. Okay, so Ohio Valley does every you need to put it up here. Can you put it up here? See, Joy, that's me. I just clip them. I mean, but I don't clip his because he's too big. But that's what I would do. But Ohio, they gonna play. Was it bingo? Yeah, let me get back to it. Where is it? Yeah, they're gonna play a public. Anyway, end of the world bingo on 0 hour. That could be fun. I like to play games. Do y'all like to play games? Okay, it's going to be on Ohio Valley Prepping at 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Y'all tune in. They're very fun people. They're very fun people. Very nice men. Usually it's all men. Sometimes they have a woman guest appearance. I love to play games. I make up games for my granddaughter and I to play. And then I buy games like little memory games and such. And it's also good for my mother, because it helps recollection and so forth and so on. So I like a game. Y'all remember Monopoly? I used to love to play Monopoly when I was a kid. It would take for days. Yeah, see, I enjoy it. And what's the one where you get the little tiny cars and you have children? Life. Ooh, yes, honey, I've played my fair share of Candyland. And just the little Chinese checker game, I used to love to play those. Hi-ho, Cheerio. Okay, Ohio Valley, he says it's basically 2026 prediction. Yes, labs do have black claws, and that's the thing. I don't want to hurt him. I don't care if he bleeds particularly. That I can clean up, but I don't want to hurt him, He's my baby. It's like cleaning his ears. I don't have to clean his ears very often because he don't go outside very often. And he don't roll around in the dirt and get all nasty and stuff. So his ears stay pretty clean. But he don't like you messing with, now he love you to do the, rubby lubby lub. He love that part. But he don't like you, fiddling with him. Ohio, you have a great day, honey, and be safe out there. There's crazy people in the world. Head on a swivel, honey. Head on a swivel. Um, but so I think that people need to put their devices down, and yes, turn YouTube off. And turn the TVs off and play some board games. Play card games. I love a card game. I don't know a lot of them, but I love them. Oh, I'll have to look. I'll have to look at that, Nicole. Y'all, Nicole has some of the most adorable animals. I went to bed last night. It was 8 o'clock. Now, the only reason I did it is because I wanted the grandbaby to go to sleep. And of course, she tossed and turned and, had to talk up a storm, and you know how the little children are. And so she finally fell asleep, and I was like, well, it was probably about 8:30. And I thought, well, I might as well just lay here and go to sleep. Oh, how sweet, Nicole. That's precious. I will definitely take a look. I've shown my mother Albert's picture as well. She was very interested. And we have to keep the memory of the people that we love alive. There's no, for me personally, everybody's different. Everybody's different. I don't want to pry. I don't want to be intrusive, but I do, well, see, Joy, or Nicole, I don't normally. I did get up, not this morning, but yesterday morning at 4:30. So I had been up for quite some time, and I had been pretty busy all day long. But I probably was asleep at 9 o'clock. See, I think it does too. My dear friend Amy, whom we lost, loved the holidays, and that's whose sister. I went to breakfast with her sister, and it was lovely to have a conversation with her about her sister and about how much we loved her and cared about her, and her strange little foibles, and her delightfulness, and things we missed about her. And then every so often, my mama, you can see, because she's lost almost all her family, because she's old. And so you can see sometimes she gets real sad. And so we'll talk about her mama and her daddy and her grandparents and stuff, because I want her to, that's how our memories, it's comforting to me. It's comforting to my mother. Now, my husband, he don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about his people. He don't want to talk about them. His mother and father have both passed, and he doesn't want to talk about them. However, it's not that he doesn't care. It's not that he doesn't remember. He can tell you exactly, these specifics, but he just doesn't want to talk about it. I honor that. That's fine. Every so often I'll ask him, well, something. But for the most part, that's fine. If he doesn't want to talk about it, that's fine. So, I am thrilled that you, Nicole, are honoring me with sharing your sister and your little grandbaby. It touches me, and I appreciate it, and I cherish it, quite honestly. Okay, so you've got, now Sammy is your granddaughter, correct? I might be wrong. I love little children I love little children, period, all the time. But I'm particularly fond of little children at the Christmas. And has that box gotten there yet? I need to track that. I've got the little slip. I need to track it. See, this is the customs thing. I've got to find the receipt from the post office. Got to find that. But I was looking around at traditions, various traditions that people have. Um, oh, honey, I I can I can't even really, in truth, imagine uh, a loss for the holidays, much less it being a child. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to track that. Um, but the loss of a child to me is the most devastating, heartbreaking. You know, it's like if my mama died, that'd be sad. I'd be, but she's old. If I died, I'm old. But if my grandbaby died, I don't know. Mm, prayers. That's all I can say. Prayers. Share Bear, hello. I saw the cutest little Care Bear thing at the store. What store was I at? I think it was at Marshall's. I almost bought it. Well, I can understand that your daughter would be absolutely devastated, and the strength that you have to be able to hold it all together. The glue, the fiber of you having to hold the rest of the family together. You know, they say that men are so strong and stuff, and men are in their own right. But I think that women, you know, we 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 are built differently. Men and women are built differently. And not all women and not all men, I'm not saying that. But when you are the matriarch, so to speak, of the family, and the responsibilities of the family tend to fall on you, you got to be made of some stuff. You've got you're made of some hard stuff. See, do y'all? I can understand where she would hate the holidays. Nicole, I can imagine that those children would just. Nicole's talking about the fact that her grandchildren, when she lost the baby grandchild, how devastating it was for the other children, and I can only imagine. I hope I never have to have that reality. The the comfort. Well, Joy, I can understand Joyce talking about the fact that her mother hates Christmas because she lost her son, and I can understand that. I had seen, I want to say it was MASH, maybe. This is years ago, and uh, Hawkeye, the surgeon, refused to let anyone die on Christmas. And it wasn't that they didn't die, they did die, but he would not put the date of Christmas on the death certificate. He would wait so that it was the following day. And I don't know that that would be that much more comforting, but at the time when I watched it, of course I boo-hooed the whole time. I thought, I cannot imagine that. Now the my grandparents got married on Christmas, and I know people die on Christmas. People, you know, uh, around Christmas and around all kinds of holidays. A lot of old people die on their birthdays. Have y'all ever noticed that? I worked at a retirement center for a long time, and it's kind of eerie, in truth, that people pass away on their birthdays. Um, I just thought that was, and it happened frequently. Um, yeah, you know what? We should. Joy, if your mother is your mother still alive? But and even Joy, you yourself. And then of course Nicole. These people do need to be lifted up, comforting prayers. And there's so many people out there. Okay, she's still living, so she still mourns the loss. Um, and then of course we in our little local community. Stink Bug, you don't like any holiday. I love holidays. Um, our local community, we had an officer killed last week, and she has a teenage daughter. And how heartbreaking, you know? Oh, domestic abuse on the holidays. That does happen. It does happen a lot. I've always thought it interesting that during the Super Bowl was one of the um, worst times for domestic abuse. Um, I have officers, police officers, and deputies and so forth in the family, and they absolutely hated the fact that, the Super Bowl day for that specific reason. Um, I have always, now, Dwayne is not my first husband, and obviously he's not the first man in my life. Uh, but I always make men who are going to be in my life watch the movie The Burning Dead. If you've never seen it, you really should watch it. It's got Farrah Fawcett in it. I think it's Farrah Fawcett. Anyway, it's about abuse. She gets even. That would be me. Um, when y'all are setting your tables, you're getting ready for any kind of celebratory thing. Give thought about others, and what others are going through. It's like when I say be kind, and we don't know when we go uptown and you meet somebody or what have you. You don't know what they're going through. And so just a simple kindness can make all the difference in the world. And if you see somebody crying, you don't have to pry or anything, but you can lift them up and be sympathetic to the fact that whatever anguish is going on in their life, they might need a little prayer. They might need a little kindness, even if you don't believe in prayer, just kindness. Well, Stink Bug, I know you don't know me formally, but or in person, I should say. But I will tell you, I don't normally say bad words, but I could beat the hell out of somebody if I had to. Granny took karate for quite some time, and Granny's well prepared in other ways. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with my people, especially my babies, That's just that. Now, there's things that we have absolutely no, like Nicole's instant. Uh, but as far as, now don't cry, Joy. We're all here together. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're here for each other. And we have to be here for each other. That's part of the human psyche is really and truly. We need each other. Now, I'm not saying we need each other to just get up in our business, but we need people. See, Nicole, I think that your daughter buying the stuff and donating is wonderful. The simple truth of it is, I go every year, and I have since my babies were born. They have the angel tree from the Salvation Army. And I get a little boy and I get a little girl. And I used to get ones that were the same age as the children. But of course, they're grown now. So I just picked two random ones. And I go in there and I buy them stuff, for those children. And then every time I go through the little red bucket, they do, um, I put money in there, and I put the equal amounts. Like if I put, I'll put $10, $5 for my daughter, $5 for my son, because I'm blessed that I have the ability to do that, but also in that I am blessed that I have my children and my granddaughter. And even though my children sometimes annoy the snot right out of me, I'm telling you, I love them dearly, but they can annoy me. If you've got grown children, you know what I'm talking about. Love them dearly, but Lord help us. Um, it was kind of funny because I don't hear from my daughter very often, but during this season, um, Nicole, I bet that did almost break your heart. Your grandson wanting Albert to be sitting there with you. And in a way, Albert is with y'all always, because he's in your heart and he's in your mind. Um, and you will carry him forever with you. Um, Now, of course, teaching children how to deal with loss, that's a whole different ball of wax. There's a, and you have to teach children how, and usually you teach them through the loss of a pet and not a loss of a person. Um, so my heart goes out to you, Nicole, and to Joy, your mother. I cannot fathom um, that. I don't know what I would do. Um, I do know that I would have to be the strong one, because it would wipe my mother out, and it would wipe my husband out if something happened. Um, but they say God doesn't give you more than you can take, but sometimes you do wonder, don't you? Really, you kind of go, okay, I can't take another thing. I can't take another catastrophe. I can't take another death. I can't take another financial crisis. I can't take another, uh, you know, eh, the coffee pot boiling over. I just can't take another thing. Not another living thing. Just leave me alone. Let me go to bed and just, we all have moments like that. And I think that's kind of our way of resetting our mechanism, you know, to just step outside, even in the minus, step outside, breathe as deep as you possibly can, and center yourself. It's not always easy. And sometimes it takes a few days to recenter yourself. Now I'm no guru. I'm no nothing. I'm no nothing. I'm just an old lady that's sitting in the school line with the children. But this is the way I cope. This is the way I deal with things. I have to sometimes just step back. And I do that. Like, do y'all ever have noises that are just like, I know, Joy, you have sometimes with stink bugs lives the light. And that's the thing. Every once in a while, I just have to go, leave me alone. It's kind of like having a migraine. If you've ever had a migraine, you just got to go to bed because it's. But the same thing, the pressures of life can sometimes be so overwhelming that really all you can do um, is step back, maybe, and it's not really a depression. It's just a resetting mechanism. It's you dealing with how to deal with something. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's so many people who want to jump on this bandwagon of having a disorder or having emotional traumas and so on and so forth. And it, true emotional situations, death is a true emotional situation. Them getting your order wrong at Starbucks is not an emotional situation. That's just a mess up. That's not anything to have a hissy fit about. You getting the wrong order at McDonald's, that is really not something to have a hissy fit about. Somebody pulled out in front of you and you had to slow down on the highway. Okay, it's inconvenient. It's not something to have a hissy fit about. True life or death type things, that's another story. That's a whole different category. And even like okay, last night I wanted Chinese food. I'm not on my diet this month. Can you tell? I'm getting puffy. But I wanted Chinese food. Well, I'll be doggone, it was closed. My husband was going to go get it. It was closed. So he's like, well, I'm going to cook myself a steak on the grill. I was like, well, I don't want that. He's like, well, you got to eat something. I was like, I don't want any of that. Now, my mother was like, well, you got to have dinner. I'm like, no, I don't. Believe me, I can live off stored fat for a long time. So he fixed himself something, and Mama had some soup. And the baby wanted mac and cheese, so of course I made her mac and cheese. But some people would have just been thrown into a willy-nilly thing. But really, I missed a meal. It wasn't a big deal. It was fine. I'll eat again. I ate this morning. It was fine. Dealing with and learning how to deal with life can be difficult. It can be one of those things that you just go, I have had enough. I need to just go reset. And it's okay to say, I'm going to go reset. All right, this line's fixing to move. It's going to be 3 o'clock, and that baby's going to come out at 3:15. Oh, I better plug in Frosty. Dear God, y'all, I ain't got Frosty plugged in. Got to plug in Frosty. There she goes. Oh, yep, there he goes. Can you see him right back there? Y'all, thank you so much for dropping by. Joy, Nicole, I love y'all. Y'all are sweet, sweet, sweet women. Stink Bug, if you're still here, behave. Tell your grandma I said hey. And I will talk to you all later. Joy, blessings to you. Give your mama a hug for me. Nicole, wrap up them little babies and love on them. That's the best therapy I can possibly advise you to do. That loving on them puppies. All right. See y'all later. Bye. Oh, Lord, the line isn't moving. Here I go.